Today we are going to discuss from Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 4, Transcendental Knowledge, text number 10. And in text number 9, we have discussed that Janma Karma cha me divyam evam yoveti tatpataha tyaktva deham punarjanma neti mameti su Arjuna. That a person who knows the transcendental nature of the birth and activities of the Supreme Lord, he does not take birth again. Now, before we go into the shloka, in Bikaner, from Bikaner, there's a devotee and he knows many doctors because he sells medicines. So one doctor raised an objection. He said that who is a good doctor? If he says thousands of people come to me and only one get cured, then he's not a good doctor. So the Lord is saying, Manushanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhahe yatatamapi siddhanam kaschin mam vedi tatvatah. In thousands of people, some people endeavor to know Krishna, actually under for perfection, and out of those perfect people, out of those thousands of perfect people, only one knows me in truth. So it shows that not many people attain Krishna. What's the point of trying for Krishna? That was his argument. But this shloka verse, Lord says not one, but bahavo. Many people have attained me. It's very inspirational. And so Krishna is a good doctor. If you follow his process, then if the people follow his process, then many can attain him. Not many people follow his process. That's why out of thousands of people understand him. Are you able to understand? If you understand, if you follow Krishna's process, then many have attained. Oh, one doctor is very happy here. Okay. So he knows that. The doctor knows if you follow the doctor's process, then thousands of people will get cured. So what is that process? You will hear today. I mean, this is one way of saying, and otherwise the link will be shared very nicely, very nicely. The link is given. And you have to be very careful. The words Veet, Raga, Bhaya, and Krodha are interpreted little differently by Srila Prabhupada and little differently by Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan. Normally, Srila Prabhupada follows Baldev Vidyabhushan, but it seems he's deriving it from Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. I have not read that commentary, but not from Gita Bhushan. But so you'll get two different angles of this shloka. So that's why you have to hear carefully. Please chant after me. Vitaraga bhaya krodha
वीतराग भय क्रोध
manmaya mam upashritah
मन्मया मामुपाश्रितः
bahavo jnana tapasa
बहवो ज्ञान तपसा
bhuta madbhavamagata
भूता मद्भावमागतः
vitaraga bhaya krodha
वीतराग भय क्रोध
manmaya mam upashritah
मन्मया मामुपाश्रितः
bahavo jnana tapasa
बहवो ज्ञान तपसा
bhuta madbhavamagata
भूता मद्भावमागतः
vitaraga bhaya krodha
वीतराग भय क्रोध
manmaya mam upashritah
मन्मया मामुपाश्रितः
bahavo jnana tapasa
बहवो ज्ञान तपसा
bhuta madbhavamagata
भूता मद्भावमागतः वितराग भय क्रोध
vitaraga bhaya krodha
मन्मया माम उपाश्रितः
manmaya mam upasritah
बहवो ज्ञान तपसा
bahavo jnana tapasa
भूता मद्भावमागतः
bhuta madbhavamagata. So Sanskrit is very easy. Veet means given up. Veet gaya, Hindi सुन बीत गया. Veet rag bhaya krodha. Having given up rag. Rag means attachment. And bhaya means fear. And krodha means anger. So giving up these three baser qualities. Veet rag bhaya krodha. Man maya. Fixing his mind in Krishna, one can say meaning, or having a mind which is Krishna's mind. That means not desiring something else except Krishna's pleasure. Same. Mam upashritah, taking shelter of me. Bahavo jnana tapasa. Bahavo means bahu. Bahu means many. many people by this austerity of knowledge. Gyan tapasa is together, not Gyan and tapasya. Tapasya of Gyan. What Gyan? Evam yoveti tattvataha. Knowing about the transcendental nature of Krishna's birth and activities. It is a tapasya. Bahavo Gyan tapasya is understood or not? Doing the austerity, you have to read Bhagavatam, you have to read Bhagavad Gita. It is an austerity. If it is not, then why there are not 41,000 people in this Zoom session? Obviously, accepting that Zoom can't afford 41,000. So not many people will be interested in this tapasya. But what is the result of this tapasya? Puta. Puta means purified. Bahavo jnana tapasa puta. Many people becoming purified by this austerity of knowledge or trying to know about the transcendental nature of my birth and activities. Mad bhavam agatah. They have reached my bhav. There are two meanings of this word bhav. One meaning of the word bhav is bhava bhakti. And one meaning of bhav is his having a situation as Krishna, Sachidanand. It means going to his abode. कुछ ग्रहण कर रहे हैं? Giving up attachment, fear and anger, fixing their mind on Krishna, or having a mind which is always desiring for the pleasure of Krishna. Same meaning. Mam upasyatraha, Krishna, taking shelter of Krishna. Bahavo jnana tapasa, being purified. Bahavo jnana tapasa puta, becoming purified by this austerity of knowledge about the transcendental nature of birth and activities of Krishna. Many people, not 1, 2, 3, many people have become purified and mad bhavam agata. They have arrived at bhav bhakti, or they came back to me. And if you are a bhav bhakti, anyhow you go back to Krishna, it doesn't make much difference. But difference only can be there in the sense that bhav can be attained here also. And amazing, all things are involved. If you have bhav bhakti, prema bhakti, then you are already in the spiritual world. Even if you are here, you are in the spiritual world. You don't remember your body also. Just like when we don't remember a dream, we are not in the dream. Simple. So, at the stage of bhav bhakti, you don't remember your body also. Deha smriti nahi jar sansar bandhan kahatar. So all those things are correlated. I hope devotees can pick up what I am speaking. So let us go forward. Being freed from attachment, fear and anger, being fully absorbed in me and taking refuge in me, many persons in the past became purified by knowledge of me, and thus they all attained transcendental love for me. So, and obviously in the translation you can have only one meaning. The other meanings will be brought up in the commentary. Taking refuge means taking shelter, serving Krishna. Gita Bhushan commentary. As in the present time, in the past also many persons gained liberation by knowing the eternal nature of my birth and activities. Now you think about that. Why this point is being mentioned in the commentary. The Lord has told, Janma karma chame divyam evam yoveti tattvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti suvarjan. This all is in present tense. Naiti mameti suvarjan. Mameti, naiti, mameti. All this. So any person who knows about the transcendental nature of my birth and activities comes to me. Present tense. So question can be there. Past mein kabhi hua sir? Has this happened in the past before? When we take a medicine, we take reviews, is it not? Have others been cured by this medicine before or not? Makes sense to you? So Krishna is giving you customer review. Not 1, 2. Verified customers. Many have gone to the spiritual world by this austerity of knowledge about trying to know about Krishna's transcendental nature. So this should give impetus to our devotees that we should invest as much time as possible for understanding the transcendental nature of the Lord. I can only request, but nobody will care how much money we had and how we looked when we die. Do you care about people who are whatever rich or beautiful or anything? So the people don't care. And it's amazing when we are living, we care so much about trying to prove to people that we are great by these things, is it not? But by these things we don't get purified. So decision is yours, how much time we want to invest in this. Somehow that normally we want to do is be in both the boats. I won't want to elaborate much on it. Either we can go east also, and maybe I can go in west also. So that is your choice, whatever you want to do or somebody wants to do. But Prabhupada always talk about simple living and high thinking, as simply as possible, not like a beggar, but live a simple life so you have sufficient time to do this tapasya of knowledge about Krishna. At least morning should be free, at least evening should be free. The rest of the time can be there for collecting in ignorance, that is not a problem. The Lord speaks to confirm. So you understand, if you understand eternal nature of the Lord, you go back to Godhead. Hamesha ke liye sari problem solve. So one should be enthusiastic for this tapasya. And why it is tapasya, you will come to know. So many people have been liberated. So we will also be liberated. The Lord speaks to confirm the eternal nature of His birth and activities. Very, very interesting. Suppose, okay, very easy to understand. Will my activities, or can my activities be glorified by my great grandfather? What is the answer? Why? Because they have come before me, and at that time I was not born. Simple. But now you see, when the Lord says Bahavo, samajh rahe na? Many people in the past, Agata is in past, they have come, I thi mere paas. That means that they were also glorifying Krishna's birth and activities. So unless Krishna's birth and activities are eternal, how can it be in past? And the Lord does not give a time frame how much in the past. Kuch pakad rahe hain? That means since beginningless time, people have been glorifying Krishna, and those who glorified Krishna or understood Krishna's transcendental nature, they have attained me. Kuch samajh rahe hain isko? Seems to be a very simple commentary, but there are very, very nice points in it. How much past? Beginningless time. Since beginningless time, Krishna's activities are there, devotees have been glorifying, and those who have glorified, many people, all of them have gone back to Godhead. Ab customer review clear ho raha hai? Many persons in ancient times, being purified by the austerity of knowledge, attained bhava for me. Mad bhavam we are able to understand? That is the order of the sentence, and so this is very clear that what austerity we are supposed to do, not simply lifting some bags, but actually the austerity of trying to know Krishna. That will assure us that we don't take birth. Do you agree in this world also we have to be austere or have perform austerity to attain some knowledge? Give the microphone to him. How much austerity you do? We will not chastise, don't worry. How much austerity do you do to collect whatever information you are getting now? How many hours you spend? Not seriously, I'm talking seriously. अभी जो पढ़ रहे हैं इसमें कितने देर पढ़ाई करना पड़ता है? अरे बताओ, टाइम पर नहीं है, घबराओ मत. हाँ, 5 hours only. झूठ बोल रहा है. Oh, in Vrindavan. Normally in home you will sit 10 hours. And do you like to study that? Study? Speak it out.
16.
No, do you like to study all those things?
Yes.
You like to study?
A little bit.
A little bit. And why do you like to study? Speak in the mic. You will get a job, is it not? अरे इतना सोचते हो, फिर क्या करोगे आप? जीडी कैसे करोगे? घबराओ मत, आपको डांट थोड़े रहा. इन्हीं के संग नहीं, सभी के संग है. When we study something, very rarely we study because we like it. Very rarely people do that. Most of the people do it because they want to get a job or something, is it not? Nothing special about you. Everybody is like that. So when they are reading and understanding those things, there is an austerity involved in the knowledge or not? We don't know, and we from the point of not knowing, we have to reach a point of knowing. For that, we need to control our senses. You can't watch a movie and prepare for a company secretary examination. Doesn't work, is it not? मैं खाली बोल रहा हूँ कि in material sphere also we to attain get we do austerity, we control our senses to attain knowledge. ये कहना चाह रहा हूँ. तो डांटने के लिए नहीं को माइक दिया था. So similarly, if we want to understand Krishna, we have to control our senses. We have to purify our senses. All those things involves knowledge. Austerity. Knowledge means knowledge of my eternal birth and activities. Bahavo jnana tapasa. Now, very clearly, jnana doesn't mean Brahma anusandhan. Knowledge of the impersonal nature of Krishna. That will not help. Then we don't go back to Krishna. Knowledge very clear. Knowledge means knowing how Krishna is manifest. Now, you may say, "Bahut aasan hai, Prabhuji." It's not that aasan. Most people have an understanding that there was a light and from there Krishna manifested. Even that Krishna serial shows that. I did not see the whole serial. Just that one clip somehow that I saw, not little Krishna, the original Krishna movie which was made by Ramanand Sagar. I don't know whom. I think he made. I don't know whomsoever made it. He shows light is coming and then from there Krishna comes. He does not show the real truth where Krishna appears as 400 Vishnu and from there he get transformed like that. So you see, it's not that easy. People don't know. And they read Krishna book. They say that we have been inspired by Krishna book or Srila Prabhupada, but their inspiration was adulterated inspiration. They were not purified in their understanding. So you understand eternal birth and activities of Krishna. That knowledge. Because this knowledge of my eternal birth and activities arises only by analysis of the difficult Shruti passages, it is called an austerity. कितना सुंदर commentary, एकदम clear है ना? We must analyze, and you see how we have to and how much we have to analyze Srimad Bhagavatam. Not me or you, but at least understand the commentaries of the previous acharyas, what comments we can give. But to understand it, we need to have a pure mind. If you don't chant Hare Krishna, we can't understand any of these things, for that matter. Even though it is written in English, you can't understand anything. And if not, then you try to explain to those people who don't chant Hare Krishna. Then they will not understand. So, are you able to understand why it is called austerity? Because one has to analyze or try to understand the difficult Shruti passages. Or another meaning why it is called austerity. Or austerity can refer to the suffering arising in removal of the bad arguments and opposing ideas. There are so much complications in our own mind about Krishna's, about tattva of Krishna's birth and activity. So all this has to be removed. Just like one time, very earlier, maybe in 2004, I asked to one devotee, senior devotee, Prabhuji, is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's body also Sachidanand? It was such a foolish question. And it was very new. I was not knowing so much about Mahaprabhu. So what is the answer? Yes. He's Krishna himself. But answer is, somebody asked me the same question. It's very, how to say, bhola, innocent question. He does not know about it. He is Krishna himself. Not only that, all his avatars have transcendental form. Rishabdev and all those things. So we have to so all these bad arguments and kachra, what do you say? Kachra, garbage which is filled in our mind, we have to remove it. That is also an austerity. Cleaning the room is an austerity or not. So austerity is because of two things. One has to read the scriptures, understand them in the association of devotees, and second is we have to remove our own garbage. That is also that's why also it's called austerity. Both people will argument. People give so many argument that may enter into our heart or mind. Then we become confused. It happens to so many people. So all has to be removed. It's also suffering. Being purified by that removal of bad ideas, cleansed of ignorance, many persons attained prema for me, bhavam, or attained existence with me, direct association with me. So bhavam has two meanings: love for Krishna or abode of Krishna. Bhavam comes from the word bhava, to exist. Bhavati. Okay? Prema bhavati. So prema happens, manifest. So existence in the sense. So existence with Krishna means in the spiritual world. Okay. See, if it is not an austerity, why a person feels sleepy in the class? No, no, not only you. Even we feel sleepy sometimes. It is an austerity. बिना austerity के किसी को कुछ प्राप्त नहीं होता. Nobody gets anything except sleep. Nobody gets anything without austerity. So austerity is a privilege because by that we can attain something really of any worth. What type of people were these? If that is the question. These person had given up attraction to, fear of, and hatred of those persons who oppose the eternality of the Lord's birth because they were completely engaged in serving me, upashritaha, with faith in me alone. Manmaya. So some of the words you have to understand. Attraction to those people means a person who is speaking about impersonalism. He may speak very flowery language, but a devotee gives up attraction to hearing such talks. कुछ समझ रहे हैं? Some, although none of the devotees here are like that, but there are some people I know personally, one of my relatives also. He says, वो भी तो अच्छा बोलते हैं. He looks very effulgent, he looks very nice, he speaks very nice, but the person who sometimes he hears from is complete impersonalist. So do you feel sometimes people become attracted to such kind of talks? Some devotees, some people, not devotees, but some people become attracted to some people who may not be respecting Krishna. I give an example, just like Vibhishan was attached to Ravan who was not respecting Lord Ram. He was attached, he was not able to give Ravan up immediately. Unless he was finally kicked by Ravan. That is a different thing. He was attached to Lord Ram, but he had some material attachment to Ravan also. And that you can expand to so many levels also. But I understanding only this meaning in this context means attraction to those people who are opposed to Krishna's eternal nature. Just maybe because they are our relatives. One possibility. Or friends. Don't think that it is a norm. It doesn't happen. I've seen with my own eyes. In IIT, there was a devotee. I won't name him, but he was a very good boy, a good friend of mine. And then he made friendship with a materialistic person who did not respect Ramanand Rai ji and other devotees who mentioned Mahaprabhu. Basically, did not have faith in scriptures. That person, at least in front of me, was lost, finished. So that's how it is there. A person who does not have respect for Krishna, and if you keep our attachment to him, he won't accept Krishna's words as truth, is it not? Then we also become bewildered. It doesn't take much time to become bewildered. It takes a long time to be unbewildered. मोह से बाहर आने में बहुत टाइम लगता है, वापस आ जाने में बहुत कम समय लगता है. ध्यान दीजिएगा इस बात. So, you understand the first meaning of the word rag, then fear of these people. You may also accept these instructions from a person out of fear. That is my understanding of this. But giving up the fear, just like Hiranyakashipu was saying, you worship me, but Prahlad did not become fearful. Okay. And hatred also. They don't hate these people. They just neglect it. Very nice. Vita, Raga, Bhaya, Krodha. They don't become angry on this also. Yeah. You see, normally devotees don't go and fight with the impersonalist. Sometimes, or most of the time, they're explaining the truth to those who are innocent. But those who are gross impersonalists, they normally avoid them. Have you seen in Mahaprabhu's behavior? He could have gone and defeated Mayavadi sannyasis immediately. But he just avoided them. It's basically a time waste. Those who are hardcore Mayavadis, even if you defeat them roundly and squarely, they won't accept you. So don't waste your time on them. Okay? And don't be fearful of their arguments also. Just because they are so-called scholar or something, a devotee should not become fearful. See how Srila Prabhupada was fearless in front of so many scientists, and he would challenge them. Can you create one mosquito also, one blade of grass? You say that everything coming from chemical. Everything coming from chemical means impersonalism. There is no personal God. Are you able to pick up? So Prabhupada was not fearful. As soon as you say there is a creator, means he has to be a person. कुछ ग्रहण कर रहे हैं, Prabhupada will refer to this point. So यहाँ तक समझ में आ गया? And why they can give up all these things? Because they are completely upashritaha. That means they are fully engaged in serving Krishna. I am Krishna's servant. I must engage in Krishna's service only. See, this seems to be a very simple point, but the more we are removed from Krishna's service, the more ignorance increases in our heart. And the more we are in touch with Krishna's service, more knowledge becomes manifest in our heart. What simple point hai? And the more we engage in sense gratification, the more we become blind that it is poison. This is Mahaprabhu's words. Karo antha, like that. That is the nature of sense gratification. The more we become involved, the more we can't realize that this is poisonous. In taste and in effect. Very dangerous. So then devotees being constantly engaged in Krishna's service, they give up all this Vit, Raga, Bhaya, Krodha. And with faith in me alone, Manmaya, Matmaya, that Krishna is my eternal master and my duty, only and sole duty is to serve Krishna, then by doing that, I'll get full perfection. This is one set of explanation of this shloka. Let us now go to Srila Prabhupada's purport. As described above, it is very difficult for a person who's too materially affected to understand the personal nature of the supreme absolute truth. Srila Prabhupada is explaining the word raga. Rag means attachment. A person who's too much into sense gratification, he can't understand that Krishna is a person. Generally, people who are attached to the bodily conception of life are so absorbed in materialism that it is almost impossible for them to understand how the Supreme can be a person. Now, it may be very confusing for you. How, if I am materially attached, then why I can't accept that the Supreme Lord is a person? Now, very easy to understand if you take the example of scientists. The mundane scientists are not the most sense-controlled people. You understand? They eat all kind of nonsense. They may drink liquor and all those things. Very rarely you will find a scientist who's actually not having bad qualities. They engage in all kinds of things. So, they can see that there is a perfect design in the universe more than what we can see in the atoms or anywhere. And it is very simple to understand. Design means designer, and designer means a person. Control means controller. Controller means a person. समझ रहे हैं? But somehow they are so bewildered that they say that everything is coming by Big Bang and all those things. What does it mean? It means impersonalism. There is no person behind it. Darwin's theory. Everything is happening by chance. Impersonalism. Then your theory is by chance also. So why should I accept a theory which has come about by chance? Because by chance it may be wrong also. Who knows? By chance तो कुछ guarantee नहीं है ना. Are you able to relate? This passage is difficult. How a materialist can't accept God is person. Before we go forward, a small story, very funny story. I have told earlier also. I'll repeat here. There was a person who was worshipping Krishna. Have you heard this? Very nice. And his desires, material desires, were not fulfilled. So he said, "This fellow does not fulfill my desires. I will not worship him now. So then he had a deity of Durga on the other side of the room, and then he started to worship Durga ji very nicely. So he was offering agarbatti, incense, and somehow the wind was blowing in a way, or the fan or whatever it was there, that the smoke was not going towards Durga ji, it was coming towards Krishna. So then he said, "This fellow never fulfilled my any desire. Why the incense should smell the incense which I'm offering?" So he somehow that using a fan or blower, he was pushing the smoke away from from Krishna's deity. And Krishna manifested in front of him. It's just a story. I don't know this. It's not from Shastra, just a story. I said, "What do you want, my dear devotee?" I said, "No, devotee, I am not worshipping you. I was worshipping Durga ji, and since so long I have been worshipping you, you did not manifest yourself in front of me." Then Krishna said, "Now you are treating me as a person who can smell, who can eat, and all those things. That's why I'm coming in front of you as a person." It's a small story at that regard. But it's a fact. Krishna is a person. He appreciates our services. He appreciates our endeavors to, or even our struggles to attain Him and all that. So the people who are materialistic, they can't understand this. Such materialists cannot even imagine that there is a transcendental body which is imperishable, full of knowledge, and eternally blissful. One more understanding of this. Manyate atmavat jagat. As I am, everybody is like that. Chor ko sab chor dikhte hain. Have you understood? Have heard this? A thief will see everyone as thief. An honest person will see everyone as honest. A person who's materialistic, he has only experience of material bodies. So then also he can't understand the eternal nature of Krishna's form. कुछ ग्रहण कर रहे हैं? Many people say, is it not that Krishna was born 5,000 years before and he died, whatever, after 125 years? Is it not? Krishna ki mrityu ka sach. So many videos on YouTube. The real truth behind Krishna's death. Krishna never dies. So you understand, you think that they think the way you think. It doesn't work like that. The person who has heard Siddhanta in Parampara, his thinking is completely different and refined than a person who's gross materialist who does not know anything about Krishna. Never hear from them. ठीक है? इस दूसरा पॉइंट समझ में आया? Why a person who's ragi, who's attached, can't understand Krishna because he only thinks he is the body. कहाँ से समझेगा कृष्ण? In the materialistic concept, the body is the body is perishable, means it will get destroyed, full of ignorance, avidya jal, network of avidya, network of ignorance, and completely miserable. It may appear to you that it is talking about someone else's body, but my dear devotees, it is talking about our own body. We may not accept it, but that's how it is there. So that is a fact. The body is called a disease. Therefore, people in general keep this same bodily idea in mind when they are informed of the personal form of the Lord. I don't know, but most of the devotees, even if they were not devotees, they might have had a conception that somehow Vishnu is different. Have you had that notion? Whenever you heard of Vishnu or Krishna, did you think that they were same as the other demigods, or you had some idea that they were different? No, Krishna came from Vishnu, that's a different thing. I'm saying, did you have some conception that Vishnu is different, like more supreme and nobody defeats Vishnu? Some conception was there. It becomes more clear now, but there was some conception that he is not equal to the other demigods or like that. But many people who are materialistic, they say, koi difference nahi hai. There is no difference. And they said, see, Ram is there and Durga ji is there and Shiv ji is there. And they are very grossly thinking that they are all equal. So that kind of people also can't understand Krishna. For such materialistic men, the form of the gigantic, whatever, English is, it doesn't go like Sanskrit. Gigantic material manifestation is supreme. There was one Mataji, I'm not sure who, in IIT or somewhere, Prabhuji was mentioning, and once Mataji in somewhere in the lecture in Hindi when I was explaining, she said, I love the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. They have a big concept, they have only a large conception of God. And if you remember, we have discussed in Bhagavatam that those who can't appreciate the transcendental form of the Lord, they are told to meditate on the universal form of the Lord. You remember? And on that also there were subtle and gross forms. The gross form was conceived of as Brahmaloka is the head of the Lord and Patal is the feet of the Lord, like that, because they can't conceive of the spiritual form of the Lord. But doing that, slowly, slowly they will get purified. And then, just like we have a subtle body, there is also a subtle form of the universal form, which is Avyakta Guna Purahitam. Those were the words, which is devoid of form of hands and legs. Like some people will meditate on that, but Shukdev Goswami forbids the devotee to meditate on any of them, because the Lord is having a transcendental form, and that transcendental form is revealed in the heart of the devotee by the Shravan Kirtan process. By chanting Hare Krishna, by hearing Bhagavatam, the Lord manifests his transcendental form in the heart of the devotees. One, and the form of the Lord we worship in the temple is also transcendental. It is not material form. It is not a universal form. कुछ समझ रहे हैं इस बात को? प्रतिमा नाही तुम ही साक्षात ब्रजेंद्र नंदन. You are not Murti. The Lord, a devotee accepts it in good faith based on scriptures, and he's accepted he is Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead. समझ रहे हैं बात को? Okay. Consequently, they consider the Supreme to be impersonal because they are too ragi, too materialistically attached. And because they are too materially absorbed, the conception of retaining the personality after liberation from matter frightens them. Veet raga ho gaya, veet bhaya. When they are informed that spiritual life is also individual and personal, they become afraid of becoming persons again. And so they naturally prefer a kind of merging into the impersonal void. Beautiful point. So they see this whole Nirankari Sampradaya is based on fear. This is a point I would like to emphasize here. The masters in this world, I'm not talking about only those who employ us, even the relatives, anyone whom you consider as master, they only mostly exploit us. They want to take as much as possible from us and give as less possible to us. And even if we dedicate fully to them, they can't reciprocate our love. All those things we have experienced. So now people think that Krishna is also like that. That's why they are fearful of becoming an eternal servant of Krishna. Not becoming, I would use the word, but they going to the spiritual world and serving Krishna eternally. कुछ ग्रहण कर रहे हैं वीत भया. The devotees are वीत भया. They have given up fear because they know how Krishna is loving even when we are in the material world with all our contaminated heart and all those things. Even when we are serving in this way, Krishna is reciprocating so much, is it not? Gives us nice prasadam, association of nice devotees, Krishna Katha, everything nice. Krishna takes care of devotees so nicely. So naturally we have faith, and we hear from Shastra also, because of being purified by the knowledge, that Krishna is the most sweet person. Kandarpa koti kamaniya vishesha shobham. Prabhupada is explaining, Govinda means giving a person who gives pleasure to the senses. And Prabhupada was saying, I was hearing today, but basically we want to serve our senses. That's how we enjoy. So when we serve Krishna, we get the highest sense object. There is no better sense object in terms of roop, rasa, gandh, form, taste, touch, or sound in any way than Krishna. You remember how Naraji was pleased when he heard the sound of Lord Vishnu? Shlakšnaya vacha, Megambhirya Shlakšnaya vacha. So satisfying. And here, even if we can't hear Krishna directly in that sense of direct, when we hear Krishna's words, are we not pleased? We are all pleased. So you see, Krishna is the best sense object. So devotees are not fearful. My Zoom devotees, do you want to merge in the Brahman? No. वहां तो प्रसाद भी नहीं मिलेगा. You will not even get prasadam. What is the point? So you see, they are really fearful of serving Krishna. They think just like we here are miserable, so in that situation also we will be miserable as soon as we have a body. But they don't understand that bodies are not always miserable. Depends what kind of body you have. If you have a spiritual body, you will be unlimitedly happy. Now question is, don't they read scriptures? Yes, but they don't read Bhagavad Gita as it is. They don't read it in the guidance of a Vaishnava. Okay? Generally, they compare the living entities to the bubbles of the ocean which merge into the ocean. That is the highest perfection of spiritual existence attainable without individual personality. समझ में आ गया होगा तो मुझे. This is a kind of fearful stage of life devoid of perfect knowledge of spiritual existence. So just imagine all these people who are Nirankaris. Nirankaris, I'm not referring to one sampradaya particularly, but all those who are impersonalists, they have no idea of Vaikuntha, of Goloka Vrindavan, and it's really embarrassing. They may have, there's actually a fact, they may read so many scriptures, but kuch nahi samajh mein aata. And that is being pointed out by Yamanacharya. Tvam Sheela Rupa Guna, like that. My Lord, your characteristics, your form, your qualities are described repeatedly in the Shastra. But Asura Prakriteha, people who are of the nature of demons, they cannot see it. They just can't see it. Just like every shloka you're hearing, almost every shloka, Sri Bhagavan Vacha. But they just can't see it. They say, where it is written Krishna Vacha. That means Krishna is not Bhagwan. Somebody within Krishna whose Bhagwan is speaking. So see the envy of such people towards Krishna. That's what we have heard elsewhere by Srila Prabhupada. They have to wait for the causeless mercy of a devotee. You remember? I think in Bhagavatam we were reading. Yes. Good. Furthermore, there are many persons. So, Vit Raga we have understood as per Srila Prabhupada, and Vit Bhaya you have understood. Furthermore, there are many persons who cannot understand spiritual existence at all. Being embarrassed by so many theories and by contradictions of various types of philosophical speculation, they become disgusted or angry and foolishly conclude that there is no supreme cause and that everything is ultimately void. Such people are in a diseased condition of life. Some people are too materially attached and therefore do not give attention to spiritual life. And some of them want to merge into the supreme spiritual cause. And some of them disbelieve in everything, being angry at all sorts of spiritual speculation out of hopelessness. समझिए इस बात को बहुत अच्छा. Angry means they might have tried some spiritual paths, but they don't work. So they become angry. And they think that nothing works. Have you seen sometimes when we are diseased and we don't get a proper medicine, we tend to become angry on doctors? ठीक ही नहीं कर पा रहे. लगता है there is no medicine for my disease. It happens. We become frustrated. Is it not? But you have not met the proper Vaidya, proper doctor. Medicine is always there. Have you met some people who are like that? There are people like that who are completely frustrated. We personally met a person in Etawah. So he came to our bus and he purchased the book also from some devotee. And you know why he purchased? He was Khandanand. He was saying, I read people's book to destroy their philosophy. So I'm buying this book so that I can find fault with Srila Prabhupada's books and Khandan karenge iska. Khandanand. Not Akhandanand. Khandanand. He was taking pleasure in Khandanand. So basically he was frustrated. Again, Sultanpur. Aap Sultanpur se hain. This is my personal experience. In Sultanpur, I was in bus. I was in charge of the bus and I was standing on the shop. What is it? Shop or whatever. Or the bus book shop. And one Mataji came. Anyhow, she was looking frustrated. You understand? Frustrated. So she said, what is Brahman? what is Parabrahman? I said, Brahman is supreme existence and Parabrahman is Krishna. You people are cheaters. You people are telling the untruth, this and that. I'm like, okay, you see, in Bhagavad Gita, it is spoken like this. Why we are cheaters? She, by her, I can just faintly remember her face. She was completely frustrated. I don't want to tell you which sampradaya she belonged to, but they had some Brahma Kumaris, obviously. So that Brahma Kumari was not happy Kumari. I said, we were happy Kumars serving Krishna. Without serving Krishna, how you can be happy? Completely frustrated. I said, how am I cheating? I was saying, Bhagavad Gita is there. You read. So like that, so they become disgusted. And such disgusting nature will happen. कुछ भी सही नहीं यार, कुछ नहीं. शायद दारू वारू पियो, छोड़ो खत्म. They say that nothing is a बकवास है. This is all speculation. कुछ नहीं, लोग पेट पालने के लिए बस कर ली है. Just to maintain themselves, they are giving them philosophy. Nothing. It's all some mythology. बहुत लोग ऐसे बोलेंगे आपको. Why are you wasting your time with these babas? You are wasting your time. So that is what said. Veet krodha. Krodha समझ? कुछ नहीं करना मैं. We don't want to hear anything. That's what they say. So there are people like that. I am acting well. Well, I have inherited from my grandparents. My grandmother is also a very nice mimicry artist. Not artist, but she will just do mimicry of anyone who somebody will come. She may not know the name, but she can say. Anyhow, we don't want to remember her right now. Okay. Okay. So again, Prabhupada summarizes. Some people are so ragi, material attached, that they have nothing to do with spiritual life. Some people want to merge in Brahman because out of fear of eternal servitude towards Krishna, and some of them disbelieve in everything, becoming angry of all sort of speculation. One thing I forgot to mention, that they don't know Krishna becomes subservient to his servants. Subservient to his servants. Whatever servant desires, Krishna fulfills. Bhrityere vancha. That shloka I am forgetting. Krishna has no other business except to fulfill the desire of his sevak servants. Very amazing, is it not? Very amazing. Simply by giving a little water and tulsi, Krishna gives himself to the devotee. They don't have no access to Chaitanya Charitamrita. How Gopal is coming. First Gopal comes to Madhavendra Puripad, and then he gives him milk when he's hungry. And then Madhavendra Puripad says, how do you know I am hungry? I am not talking to anybody. You see, such sweet exchange. And Gopal says, no, I am coming here to herd cows, and I have been seeing here, and the Matajis have told that you have not been eating. So nobody goes hungry in my village. I love these statements. In Braja, Krishna says, nobody goes hungry in my village. If somebody does not want anything, does not demand or does not beg from anyone, then I supply personally. Very beautiful statements by Gopal. And then Gopal comes in the dream and says, oh, I am suffering here so much. I've been waiting when Madhavendra Puri will come and deliver me. Deliver Krishna. So sweet, is it not? Who is delivering the whole world? So like that, you see, such loving exchange. Or can you imagine sleeping with Krishna like Arjuna? Can you imagine that? And eating with Krishna. Shayasana bhojaneshu. He says that. He was eating with Krishna. Can you imagine that? Eating with Krishna, sleeping with Krishna, joking with Krishna. Oh, Krishna, you speak actually. You always speak the truth, you know. आपने देखा है when among friends when we taunt, there is a pleasure. Taunt तो आप समझते होंगे. I taunt a lot in the class, is it not? But that taunting is very pleasurable. I think my students also feel that pleasure. Just to give them pleasure, I give some taunt. But when you have a relationship, you feel good. समझ रहे हैं? When you don't have a relationship, you will feel offended. But when you have, अरे आप तो हमेशा सच ही बोलते हैं. You always speak truth. So like that sweet relationship. And then at one point, I want to go in that direction also. How Arjuna was asked by Krishna. Krishna says, are you fool? You selected me against all my one Akshahani Narayani Sena. Don't you? And also I'm not going to fight. Then Arjuna says, I have faith. The two things he says. First, I had a desire to give my life in your hands. One point. बहुत अच्छा लगता है मेरे को. And second, I have faith if you are on my side, I can heal the whole universe. And then Krishna also says like this: even if the whole universe is against you, he can't defeat you, Krishna, Arjuna. So you see how loving affection is there between Arjuna and Krishna. So that devotee knows by hearing. Devotee knows by hearing. It's a similar way. Narsingadev says to Prahlad Maharaj, "Oh my dear devotee, please forgive me. I came very late to save you." See how beautifully Lord is in a sensitive way. Lord is reciprocating with devotees. So devotees know that. So Draupadi anywhere, Draupadi everywhere. So and Bhishmatama, he can't even move his head when he's leaving his body. So just Krishna stands near his legs, so that exactly so that Bhishmadev can see him. So this when we hear Bhagavatam in the guidance of Acharyas, then we know how Krishna is a loving master. So we want to go master or whatever we got, master only, and we want to serve him. Especially in this world, you see many people you serve, they don't reciprocate, is it not? Sometimes we will think also, अरे वो चरण की रेणु बन गया तो कौन देखेगा भाई? If I become a dust and the lotus feet of Krishna, अगर बुखार हो गया तो देखेंगे भी नहीं कृष्ण. If I get some fever, Krishna will not look at also. No, it's not like that. Tulsi ji is at the lotus feet of Krishna, or the devotees are at the lotus feet of Krishna, and Krishna is very personal God. Krishna is very, very conscious of all the devotees. Even if, पता नहीं आप ऐसा meditation करते हैं कि नहीं, but if you start thinking how big the universe is and how big all the material world is, you may feel, and which is a fact, we are insignificant. But if you are a devotee, you are very, very significant towards in the eyes of Krishna. समझ रहे हैं इस बात को? So I am saying this. Give up the fear that Krishna will not look at me, Krishna will not love me. No. And aspire for love of God. That's what I'm trying to say. This last class of men take to the shelter of some kind of intoxication, and their affective hallucinations are sometimes accepted as a spiritual vision. Prabhupada is referring to the what is that? Hippies in America who wanted spiritual life, but they wanted it cheap. So they will have some drugs and they will have some hallucination, and they will think that I am God or all those things. One has to get rid of all three stages of attachment to the material world. Negligence of spiritual life means rag for material attachment. Fear of a spiritual personal identity, vit bhaya, and the conception of void that arises from frustration in life, vit krodha. To get free from these three stages of the material concept of life, one has to take complete shelter of the Lord, guided by the bona fide spiritual master, and follow the disciplines and regulative principles of devotional life. Very simple, few points. Madashritaha means we cannot take shelter of Krishna directly. We don't know how to take shelter of Krishna directly. Is it not? So we have to learn from the devotees, from the spiritual master, how am I supposed to serve Krishna, which will please Krishna. It's simple सी बात. The spiritual master does not come in your relationship, come in between our relationship with Krishna. He is the enhancer of our relationship with Krishna. कुछ समझ रहे हैं? कृष्ण के स्थान पे गुरु नहीं बैठ जाते हैं, गुरु कृष्ण के चरण स्थान पे लेके जाते हैं. Guru doesn't become Krishna, he takes you to the lotus feet of Krishna. That is why he is most confidential, most, how to say, dear to Krishna. Okay? And guidance, normally people say, Prabhuji, give blessings. The blessing is the direction which has been given to us. This is the way you should chant. This is the way you should lead your life. All of us, we get like that. And we follow the discipline, then we get the mercy and blessing of Krishna. That itself is the blessing. Just like when you go to the doctor and doctor says, okay, I have written the prescription, you take this medicine like this. No, please bless me. The blessing I have given you. Now you have to take it. No, you please take on my behalf. Doesn't work. Very nicely explained by someone. I'm not sure. I think it's Srila Prabhupada that once the doctor gives the prescription, he is not after on your case whether you are following the prescription or not. It is your responsibility. Yeah. Somewhere we have read this. And without a regulative principles of devotional life, we cannot become free of this. भाई भक्ति नहीं करेंगे, सुबह नहीं उठेंगे, जप नहीं करेंगे, if we don't do all these things, the sadhana program, then how we become purified? नहीं समझ में आएगा. The last stage of the devotional life is called bhava. Now Prabhupada is explaining the word madbhavam, or transcendental love of God. So you say bhav and prema are different, Prabhuji? Yes, you can say different, but basically after attaining bhav, you won't fall down. You don't have to exert yourself when you attain bhav. After that, prema is guaranteed. So that's why bhav is bhav bhakti, bhav is prema bhakti. It doesn't much difference with that. According to, now it's very easy to understand for the devotees. According to Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the science of devotional service. This is the sequence. Adau Shraddha Tatah Sadhu Sangha Atha Bhajana Kriya Tato Nartha Nivrittisya Tato Nishtaro Chistatah Atha Saktis Tato Bhavas Tatha Prema Bhyudanchati Sadhakanam Ayam Premna Pradurbhave Bhavet Krama. In the beginning, one must have a preliminary desire for self-realization. This is called Shraddha. This will bring one to the stage of trying to associate with persons who are spiritually elevated, sadhu sangha. In the next stage, one becomes initiated by an elevated spiritual master. Under his instruction, the neophyte devotee begins the process of devotional service. Shravanam Kirtana Vishnu is called Bhajan Kriya. Kriya means there has to be some action. By execution of devotional service under the guidance of the spiritual master, one becomes free from all material attachment, means anartha nivritti, attains steadiness in self-realization, means nishtha, and acquires a taste for hearing about the absolute personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, called Ruchi. Ruchi. This taste leads one further forward to attachment for Krishna consciousness called asakti, which is matured in bhava, or the preliminary stage of transcendental love of God, where the heart completely melts, and it becomes situated in Shuddha Sattva. At the stage of bhav only we become fully liberated from the effect of the modes of material nature, although it becomes diminished as we keep on practicing Krishna consciousness. I think this all the devotees must be feeling, I mean those who are doing good sadhana, that the effect of modes of passion and ignorance is diminishing. Is it not? It's not that difficult to wake up in the morning. It's just little bit, not that difficult to sit and chant. Is it not? Not feeling anything? They are just humble. How is that? You're not watching movies, hopefully. Do you have a plan to relax today? And you see that when very yes, Prabhuji, which movie? I don't know. So one prominent effect of bhakti you can see, even if a person watches movie, it is not tasteful. It is boring, miserable. Yes, boring, which shows that there is passion, ignorance has gone away. Passion, ignorance की वजह से अच्छा लग रहा था. One devotee was telling that he used to play tennis and all that. All is washed off, this tennis. Finished. No interest. And really, I am surprised because this devotee is not practicing Krishna consciousness since long. Not even a year. Not even an year has passed. I was thinking about it, how potent Krishna consciousness is. Not even a year has passed and people are giving up all their bad habits. Many people like that. Krishna consciousness is very powerful. I again want to appreciate the devotees. The way Zoom devotees are chanting, most of the devotees, I would say, except one or two people, especially the young devotees, the way they are chanting, it will completely overhaul your consciousness. And you must be feeling the effects already. Hai ki nahi? Don't take it lightly that you are chanting intensely. Don't take it lightly that you are chanting intensely. With this attempt to hear the name, it is not an ordinary process. Krishna appreciates and purifies the consciousness like anything. होता ही नहीं है, लोग ध्यान देने का प्रयास ही नहीं करते. Most of the time, I am seeing so many devotees actually they are getting very powerful results. People don't do that properly. That's why they lose faith. So I'm just saying it works. This process works. Otherwise, Goswami काय को लिखते हैं इसमें? So one day we will reach bhava also. भाव तो बहुत आगे है. At least निष्ठा, where every day your chanting is good. Every day. Nice. Real love for God is called prema, the highest perfectional stage of life. In the prema stage, there is a constant engagement in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. So you see, they have to understand the Vigyan. Because there are material desires, so then person may not engage in Krishna service sometime. But bhava stage or prema stage, you can't do any sense gratification. Just like the fish cannot be out of water for even a second. This will be explained later on. Machita madagata prana bodhyanta parasparamtya satatam kirtayantam. All those shlokas will explain in that way. When a person has this love of God or bhav, for a moment also he can't stop serving Krishna. Good stage, is it not? Maybe not for now, because then you can't do a job or something like that. In the prema stage, दुखी है कि पता नहीं सुन करके, लेकिन you can, personally in my case, I'm not, how to say, touch wood is in front of me, I'm not proud, but कोई संकल्प ही नहीं उठता है कि बहुत ही कुछ पढ़ सकें. There is no संकल्प, what do you say? There is no determination तो बहुत ज्यादा हो गया. There is no a desire which arises. हाँ, संकल्प बड़ा अच्छा शब्द है. मतलब वो, there is no idea that I can study anything material now, unless it has some connection with Krishna. Just like I studied about OBS to preach, that much. But very nice consciousness. What do you think about calculus, Vipin Prabhu? Do you miss it? No. So you see, at one point you must be very much interested in it, is it not? So all of this purification you must be feeling. So it happens with everybody. So be careful of it. If you want to continue your material life, don't associate with us. We are bad people. In the prema stage, now maybe no, there is always a chance to go back. But then you know that Maya auntie, what treatment she will do with you, and she doesn't listen to me. So what slap she gives, we don't know, and she slaps nicely. One time, Gaur Govind Maharaj, His Holiness Gaur Govind Maharaj, one disciple left or something, he was not following. He said, "I am praying to Maya. I am praying to Krishna that Maya should slap you very nicely." Nice prayer. Anyways, we'll come back to the shloka. In the prema stage, there is, we have discussed this. Anna, in the prema stage, there is constant engagement in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. You understood? There is constant detachment from mundane sense gratification and constant attachment to Krishna. So, by the slow process of devotional service, under the guidance of the bona fide spiritual master, one can attain the highest stage, being freed from all material attachment, from the fearfulness of one's individual spiritual personality, and from the frustration that result in void philosophy. This is very clear. One thing I want to emphasize is, void means zero, nirvishesh, shunyavad, nothing is there. So, what I wanted to say, this point, slow process. You see, devotional service is very fast, but it appears to be slow. Can you hear what I'm trying to say? It is extremely fast if you compare to Karma Kand, Gyan Kand, and all those things, because they will spread over lifetimes to purify you, and they still can't purify you the way the bhakti process purifies. You remember Yamadibhi Yoga Pather? You remember the shloka from Bhagavatam? Naraji himself said that other yoga, Ashtang yogas, they for billions of life, years or whatever, millions of years they will practice. Then they might become perfect. So compared to that, devotional service is very fast. One name destroys billions of lifetimes of sin. So can you understand the speed? But it is very interesting and inconceivable that we can't immediately feel on a day-to-day basis. कुछ लग रहा है आपको अभी? हाँ, भूख लग रही है, ठीक है, मुझे भी लग रही है. But you don't feel anything when you hear Bhagavad Gita, in a sense कि कुछ हुआ, it seems to be same body or something like that. But within few years only, if you commit to the process, you will see so much transformation. And this is lacking in many devotees. They don't commit to the process. Like every day, Chapa, every day. I'm not talking about all of you. Most of the devotees are doing. But are you seeing? Many of our students, especially like from the college, they just drop on this part, doing it every day, no matter how you feel on a particular day. You keep on doing it, and every time you chant Hare Krishna, every time you hear Bhagavad Gita, every time you take prasadam, usme to koi dikkat nahi. and not eat outside food, then you are advancing. An example, as devotee has pointed out, is like being in the airplane which appears to be very slow. Practically stand still. आप बैठे हैं एयरप्लेन पे, ऐसा लगता है चल भी नहीं रहा है. It seems that you are not moving anywhere, but is going with a very fast speed, and that is displayed on the screen. You are few kilometers, 400 kilometers away from your destination, and with this much speed, you are going 900 kilometers per hour or whatever. That is analogous to Shastra. The Shastra says, अयम हि कृत निर्वेशो जन्म कोटि हंसामपि यद व्याजहार विष्णु नाम सस्तेनम हरे. समझ रहे हैं? Simply by chanting one name, he has counteracted billions of lifetimes of sin. So this is like a display screen which says, "Bhai, don't go by your experience. कुछ नहीं हो रहा है, हरे कृष्णा कर रहे हैं." ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता है कि कुछ ना हो अगर हरि नाम जप कर रहे हैं. हरे कृष्ण मंत्र never goes in vain. समझ रहे हैं मेरी बात? This I want to focus. That's why we need association of devotees. Sometimes we may be unenthused. Seeing them, we remain enthused and we continue with the process. But we must remember, slow and irreversible. इसमें पीछे जाने का सिस्टम नहीं है कुछ. हम बैक गियर रही है बस. So you are too late. Last line. Then one can ultimately attain to the abode of the Supreme Lord. So like that. Any questions? हमारे यहाँ तो प्रसादम देर में आता है, तो इसलिए हमें तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. अरे भाई इतना लंबा कमेंट. Vishnu is Vishrup is temporary. Vishrup is only manifested when the universe is there. So sweet of Krishna, yes, not at all. Never, don't. Sayuj Mukti is a spiritual suicide. Yes. I read about Parishit Maharaj in Bhagavad 1.12.11 that how he was the king, the people liked him very much because he was a devotee. But nowadays we see the leader is not like that. Nowadays he troubles the person mentally and physically. Nowadays the leader wants to control the person. Why? What to eat, what to wear, where to go, whom to talk to, whom today's leader want to decide. What can we learn from such a leader? While the one who is a devotee of God, his conduct is opposite to this. He always teaches others by his conduct. My question is, what kind of education should we take from the leaders of today? You are asking too personal question, which is not proper to ask in Bhagavad Gita class. I would use that word. Don't ask management questions here. Simple point is, don't think that Parishit Maharaj was not controlling people also. It's not that anybody could drink liquor there. He was not, I would say, he would not tolerate any nonsense. समझ रहे ना? He was, as a manager, he was very, very strong. So devotee management was very strong that nobody could do any nonsense. So the problem is we want to do independent behavior. So when we are talking about management, basically this devotee is talking about management. So when it comes to management, it is expected that discipline has to be there. I don't know. I'm not happy with the question because this is not question not of Bhagavad Gita class. So sometimes people use the anyhow. I don't want to chastise him. Leave it. People are making joke of me. Thank you. I can tolerate. Krishna consciousness is very powerful. Should we imagine doing any activity with Krishna like eating, playing? Is this good? No. There is no need for such imagination. First, no need for any imagination. First, realize how putrefied we are. How putrefied we are right now. How much impure we are. And how much purified we have to become. So focus on purification. You just can't imagine eating with Krishna. Yes, he was offering kheer to Krishna, but he was not eating kheer with Krishna. That is called manasik seva. Seva, bhog nahi. You cannot imagine that you are Krishna's friend or something like that. Or raat sham sapne mein aaye daiya pi gaye. Whatever. Or Prabhupada somewhere says that Krishna, some Mataji will say, "Oh, Krishna came in my dream and he was pulling my sari," and like that. No, doesn't work like that. Material desires are burning very fast and it gives much peace. Yes, you can see that. Dawn of Krishna consciousness. No, DAWN, dawn of Krishna consciousness. Is Ekadashi on 5th or 6th? I don't have a 6th. Okay. I hope the devotees. What is difference between Golok, Vaikunt, and Bhagavad Dham? Well, Golok and Vaikunt both are Bhagavad Dham, abode of the Supreme Lord. In Golok, you can. There is very high level of intimacy where a person can actually climb on the shoulder of Krishna, and in Vaikuntha, you have to be an awe and reverence. You don't know that? I'm surprised. Amazing. Oh, okay. It's showing. Don't ask about Ekadashi now, so that you can ask personally. Okay, so now I think you like this class, and hopefully we'll have class tomorrow also. Then let's see. Thank you all for coming. Srimad Bhagavad Gita.